Today, I'm going to show the JVC DR-M10 DVD Video Recorder, a device that I purchased in 2005 in order to save time while recording DVDs. On the early 2000s, the process of DVD authoring was still quite time-consuming. Many clients used to ask for copies of videos that my company recorded and that we had stored in tapes. When using VHS, we could simply copy the video from the master tape to the VHS. But when DVD got popular, we had to capture the video into the editing workstation and from there generate a DVD video. This was slow and kept the workstation busy during the process. This JVC DVD recorder not only promised to be able to record as easy as a VHS VCR, but also to record and play at the same time. Was it true? Let's check it out. At first sight, it looks similar to any DVD player of the era, perhaps a little bit bigger and heavy. The buttons are very similar to the ones we could find in a VCR. Also, it comes with a full commander and most of the options that we would expect in a late 90s VCR and DVD together. Hidden in the front panel, there is an extra set of inputs: S-video, composite, and DV or digital video. This third option was especially interesting because it would allow to transfer directly from any digital source with minimal quality loss. Remember that back then, camera recordings were stored in tapes. And yeah, more than 1 decade after that, I still have boxes and more boxes full of them. But back to the recorder, this was indeed a great feature. On the back side, we also find an interesting set of inputs and outputs. Other than the standard antenna connectors, it also has a component or composite output, 2 SCART inputs and outputs, the JVC CompuLink port, a proprietary feature to allow communication between JVC devices, satellite or decoder interface, and the typical digital output connections. The unit also has a fan that would turn on if it was hot enough, even with the player being in standby. The front is made from plastic and it's not very robust, and the case is quite heavy. So let's play with it. This is the setup that I'm going to use to test it. Because it can't catch any digital broadcast channels, I will use this DVCam VCR as an external source of video. For those that don't know, DVCam is the big brother of DV video and mini DV. This format from Sony was widely used for professional video applications on the early 2000s. If you have interest in knowing more, please subscribe to my channel, as I plan to dedicate a full video to the format in the future. I will also use this video to VGA converter to be able to see the image in a computer screen, so I don't need a TV. If you have interest in this device, feel free to watch my previous video, where I show all the details. So back to the JVC recorder. The start is quite slow, and after a few seconds we can select any of the inputs or channels that we want to record. On the play side of it, it will work exactly as any other DVD player. But when a blank DVD is inserted, is when things get interesting. With just a touch of a button, it starts recording instantly. When I press stop, it takes about 30 seconds to be available again. This is due to some buffering needed during the recording. And when it's ready again, I can see instantly what I just recorded. So yes, I would say that was pretty easy. It also offers a built-in navigation options where we can see the multiple recordings on the disc. The system allows us to select between 4 different quality levels plus a custom one. This quality will define how much time we will be able to record on each disc. And here we see the 2 minutes of videos that I just recorded. We can record sequentially on the same disc as many more clips as we want, until it's completely full. The same way that we would do in a tape. But that disc won't be playable on other devices until we finalize it. At this point, we won't be able to record anything else, even if there is still free space, but it will be playable in any other DVD player. It also comes with a very complete menu with plenty of control of all functions. Also note that this recorder only will work with DVD-R discs. Despite the DVD plus R format was already around back then, it was important for me to record in the -R format to keep the maximum compatibility, as not all the players would be able to record +R format yet. But let's move on and take a look at the coolest feature, the DVD RAM. DVD RAM is one of my favorite media types. This format comes with the sectors preset from factory, which makes it a very reliable media type. And it would behave in computers as a regular removable storage device, similar to a flash drive. Also, this will enable some interesting functions on the recorder. If we want to use all the properties of DVD RAM, we need to do a quick format of the disc. After this, we can use it as we did on the previous recording. But after some time of recording, if I press the button Live Check, I am able to start playing the recorded media on the same disc at any previous point, at the same time that the recording is still in progress. See on the screen the recorded images on the top and a smaller preview of the current recording. I have to say that the change is very quick and the player does not make any noise. I can jump to any part of the recording or watch it at full screen. Also, the progress bar on the top will indicate where I am. I guess this is a great feature if you miss the first 15 minutes of a soccer match or a TV show and you want to catch up. But honestly, I never used it. Once the recording is done, we can just play it as we would do with any other DVD. When using DVD RAM, there is also an edit option where we can modify or remove parts of the recording. The removed parts actually free space on the disc, so we can gain these extra minutes for later recordings. You don't like how this tattoo looks from the front? No problem! now it's gone. Overall, it's a very complete device that comes with everything you need to record your own DVDs as easy as you did with your old VHS. Before ending, I have always been curious to take a look at the interior. The DVD players of the era were light and quite empty inside, but this is a heavy machine. So let's take a look. As I was suspecting, the DVD recorder is actually a computer drive. Perhaps that was easier or cheaper solution for JVC than creating their own drive. Actually, if we open the front cover and look inside, you can see there is an open button. I don't know if this was a common practice back then or this was just done on the early models. The rest of the electronics are more or less what we would expect. Power board, inputs and outputs, and this model that seems to be the encoder or decoder and manage all the data processing. The fact that it is quite small makes me think that this could be a standard model used also in DVD-RAM or mini DV cameras. Also, having a fan makes sense as CD and DVD recorders could get quite hot sometimes. And that's everything for now. I think that these recorders were a great replacement of the old VHS. But they soon began to include hard drives, and that made handling discs obsolete. But that's another story.